Howdy, music fans. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be an Unsung Heroes episode on Graham Parker. There he is. Um, he's one of these guys that was very Nick Lowe, Elvis Costello-ish, and hung out with those guys, I believe, and made that kind of Brit pub rock type music like they did. He is another British guy. John Hyatt, I think, also hung out with those guys. So I'm going to go through my Graham Parker collection. It's not huge. There's definitely a lot more albums out there, and he's also released some bootleg box sets and all kinds of other stuff. But this is what I have, so I'm going to go through it. I have just the CD of, where is it? There it is. Graham Parker Howlin' Wind. That's one of his earlier ones. And this is a good representation of what he sounds like. You know, he's pretty rockin'. He also does some kind of funky stuff too. He has some horns on some of his earlier stuff. This one's called Human Soul. Does a lot of topical songs, a lot of commenting on what he sees around him, commentary, much like maybe Ray Davies or, in the Kinks, somebody like that. But good rock and roll artist. This next one I have is called Struck by Lightning, another somewhat earlier one. I believe more, look at that, more lyrics. And he's a songwriter. And I actually saw him once at my very first concert ever. It was Graham Parker and the Rumor. No, not Graham Parker and the Rumor, sorry. Graham Parker and the Shot opening up for Eric Clapton. Really, technically my second concert, but the first one that I opted to go to, wasn't dragged to, and paid my money for the ticket and all that. Next one, Acid Bubblegum. This one's a pretty rockin' album. Also, I can't remember if this one has any country on it yet. He does some definite country later. There's one called Your Country, which is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. This one is pretty messed up. I don't know where I got it. Obviously, I got it used. Because I don't do that. I don't take bites out of my CD booklets. I don't know about you, but I get my roughage other ways. Acid Bubblegum. Razor and Tie did release this. Interesting. Okay. Next one, another Razor and Tie. This one is the last rock and roll tour, Graham Parker and the Figs. This is really good. This is a really great live album, really rockin' live album. Long live album. A lot of songs on it. As you can see here, what is that, 22 songs it looks like. Next one is one I recently, maybe last year or the year before, I got at Neptune Records, called Deep Cut to Nowhere. Never seen it, never heard of it, and put it on, and my God, I really like it. It's really rockin'. It's really, really good. You know who else he reminds me of? Willie Nile, who I also did an Unsung Heroes episode on Willie Nile. He reminds me a little bit of him as a songwriter and as a rocker. And as a kind of a genre jumper, he mixes in some R&B, some blues, some country, some funk. This one I highly recommend. It says out of print, so I don't know if you can find it, but I highly recommend. Of course, if you're going to sample stuff, on YouTube or Spotify or Amazon or whatever, then I'm sure any of this could be up here. It will be up there. Your Country. This one is a Bloodshot Records release, and I believe this one has a Lucinda Williams duet on it, and just some wonderful country tunes. It's one thing I don't like about CDs is sometimes it's hard to get those booklets out without damaging or crinkling or bending them. Let's see, Lucinda Williams is on which track? Oh, Crawling from the Wreckage, of course, that's one that all of those guys do. Nick Lowe, Dave Edmunds, I don't know if Elvis Costello does, but that's a pretty big one for all those guys. Fairground is a great song, so is Tornado Alley. Cruel Lips is a really good one. Almost Thanksgiving Day. Nation of Shopkeepers is a good one. I mean, Queen of Compromise is fantastic. Yeah, this one is just a really great album. Um, okay, let's see. Where do we find Lucinda? Lucinda Williams vocal duet on track 3. So, track 3 is Cruel Lips. There you go. Yeah, I highly recommend that. I'll put a link to that one down in the description because that's really worth checking out. Here's another one. Looks like I found that I did in the same, no, different place, but Don't Tell Columbus. This is another one that like Deep Cut to Nowhere that kind of jumped out at me that I was like, oh, I didn't know that existed, and it's great. And it's Bloodshot Records also. So he did more than one with Bloodshot. Is there a booklet here? Doesn't look like it. Everything. I guess I showed you everything. And there's a good picture of what he looked like then. All right, next is Graham Parker and the Rumor, Three Chords Good, and this was the song that first came on when the first song that was on when I first started the video came off of this album. And this is one of his most recent. This is probably 2019 or 2018, something like that. But he's been making records a long time, since I believe the 70s, and has a pretty big discography. I know I'm missing at least 6 or 7 studio albums, maybe more, and some live albums. But I'm going to get into that a little bit more with the next couple of things I'm going to show you. One is a anthology, 1976 to 1991, by who else? None other than Rhino. And I got this mostly because it was cheap. I think it was like $7 at Everyday Music. But it has stuff on it that I don't have. Passion is No Ordinary Word is what this set is called. I think I got this Dave Edmunds set, the same kind of deal. They had it for $7, the same thing, a Rhino double CD anthology of Dave Edmunds. And I got the Johnny Rivers now coming in the mail too. But yeah, this Graham Parker set is great. It's got some of his bigger songs, obviously. It's a really nice collection because Rhino is just great at that. This one has starts off with White Honey, which was a big one of his. Howlin' Wind, Back to School Days. That's another one that all those guys do. Dave Edmunds and probably Elvis Costello. Niccolo certainly, I think, does it. Don't Ask Me Questions. Soul Shoes is a big one of his as well. Heat Treatment. These are all ones that did pretty well for him, to my knowledge. And then this one, No Holding Back, another gray area, Temporary Beauty, lots of good stuff. And this goes all the way, Museum of Stupidity, this goes all the way up to 91. But, you know, this was just a couple or a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6, I don't know, but certainly he's still around, still making music. The last thing I'm going to show you is something I just picked up at High Voltage Records in Tacoma when I went recently, and it's this 3 CD Graham Parker set, which is pretty skimpy. There's not a lot to it as far as packaging goes. I'll show you what there is to it. The pages are very thick, so it feels like there's something to it. There's the text, but the rest of it is just after that first page or whatever. It just goes into what's on here and what these are from. And this is from a handful of albums that I actually only have one of, so not a lot of overlap, except for maybe on that Rhino set, which is pretty cool. This is called No Holding Back, and it only has songs from I guess it's Demon Records, I think it said. Yeah, Demon Records, I guess he was on. And it has The Up Escalator, which I don't have. The Mona Lisa Sister, I don't have. Live, Alone in America, I don't have. Human Soul, I do have. And then Struck by Lightning, I don't have. Burning Questions, Live, Alone, Discovering Japan, and Christmas Cracker. So, so this is great. I don't have any of these albums, so I've got now a bunch from these albums, except for Human Soul's the only one I have. I do have a bunch of them from the library, I think, in my iTunes. But anyway, I don't listen to music that way, really. Um, that's it, folks. Let me know what you think of Graham Parsons. I'll put a couple of choice cuts down in the description, including that Lucinda Williams duet. And check him out. He's definitely an unsung hero. He's somebody that people don't know much about. He's a great songwriter. He's a great rocker. And he's just he's very prolific, and he has a very, like I say, he's a topical songwriter. He's really got a voice that he wants to share, thoughts he wants to share with the rest of the world. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.